Hello out there in Pugland and welcome back. King and I are so excited you're here today. We are thrilled to present to you this Pugs 101 informational video today. You voted and we listened. So today's video is going to be on pug feeding tips. So how do you feed your pug? There are some challenges to feeding your pugs in order to keep them healthy and give them that longevity and the optimum nutrition. So let's go ahead and roll the intro. A very important tip when you're feeding your dog is to always use stainless steel bowls. And the reason for that is stainless steel bowls are very easy to sanitize. You can throw them right in the dishwasher. That's what we do. Put a little bit of bleach inside the dishwasher along with the dishwasher soap. It rinses out very nice and clean, and then we have a sanitized, safe bowl to use for our dogs that's not going to get any cracks or trap bacteria. Now that's the problem with plastic bowls. We always give our dogs distilled water to drink. And the reason for that is that distilled water has been purified, reverse osmosis, the chlorine has not been put in, there's no fluoride in it. Very convenient when we travel with our dogs. So we don't have to worry about giving our dogs tap water from a municipal source that they're not used to. This way we avoid any potential diarrhea and dehydration while we're traveling. When we use our distilled water, since there are no minerals, it's all been taken out by reverse osmosis, we add them back in. And we put these trace mineral drops in. They are non-GMO, and that helps to give them the required minerals that their bodies need. We only feed and recommend holistic, preferably organic and non-GMO products. Now, we're not being sponsored by these companies. These are what we actually use for our dogs on a daily basis and have done so for several years. We've had really good luck with Fromm's grain-free entree, the game bird recipe. The dogs love it. They eat it all up. Not a problem. We also add duck, goose dinner patties with the Fromm, and occasionally we will use, when we need to use a canned food, the only one we really like is Newman's own organic liver and beef and liver. The reason is there is no potatoes, no peas in this recipe. Our dogs really enjoy it, and we are very happy with that. We use half of the recommended amount of the dry and half of the recommended amount of the dinner patties at each feeding. The reason is this tends to be a little costly, even though it's grain-free. I don't really like the idea of peas and potatoes, so we're looking at utilizing more of this, which is raw, but it's freeze-dried, so it retains all its nutrition and high value. The dogs go absolutely crazy for this. So to keep the cost more effective, we mix the two. Now we also add our supplements to the feed. Our supplements are added once a day. We have a video, so check our video on how we cope with shedding, and that will list our supplements and how we feed our dogs. Now, a lot of people ask, well, how much of this do you feed your dogs? And the answer is, we don't really do it by physical measurement. We do it a different way, but since people always want a physical measurement, I am going to go ahead and put another handout for you of everything that we're discussing today. It's going to be down below in the description, so check that out. It'll be a PDF free for you to download, so go ahead and download that. I want to emphasize that I'm going to list a chart of amounts to feed your dog, but it's not etched in stone. You need to make sure that you're feeding the appropriate amount for your dog. Maybe your dog is an agility dog, which is going to require your dog to be a little bit thinner. If your dog's a show dog, you're going to want to see the Multum and Parvo, that nice muscular body. So that means you're going to need to feed a little more than you would feed your agility dog. So there's different ways to feed depending on your dog's activity level, depending on your dog's lifestyle, and also your dog's needs. So I'm going to show you right now, how do you feed for those? Remember that the word pug is one letter removed from the word pig. So your pug is always going to act hungry. So don't get pulled into thinking you need to feed your dog more because of the way they're acting. You don't. I always teach people, instead of worrying about measurements, instead of this, focus on your dog. If you're looking down at your dog, from human point of view, and the dog's here, you're looking at the back, here's the head, here's the little tail. So when you're looking down at the dog from your point of view, how does the dog's sides look? That's what you're going to focus on, are the sides. So I have drawn up the way you want to do that. For example, when you're looking down at your dog, does your dog look like this? Does his body look like a parenthesis? If so, your dog is too fat, and you're going to need to cut back on the food. If you wanted a measurement for how much to cut back, start with a 1/4 cup, and then go from there. Now when you're looking down at your dog, do you have reverse parentheses? If so, then your dog is too thin, and you need to add food. And then you want to increase your dog's food by a 1/4 cup at least one of the meals a day, and then continue to monitor your dog. When you're looking down at your dog, does your dog have parallel sides like a bracket? If so, then your dog for a pug is ideal. Now let me get this straight. It's a pug. It should be Multum and parvo, an adult pug. You want to see the sides parallel as much as possible, especially on a well-bred pug. Now some dogs may be more narrow at the ends, and that's from their breeding. They might not have as much muscle tone as a quality bred dog. This is for an adult dog. Now puppies are fed a little differently in our home. Puppies, everybody loves a fat roly-poly puppy. They are the cutest thing when they are fat and roly-poly. You just want to just gobble them up. But it's not the healthiest thing for them. A fat puppy is going to grow too fast. And a fast-growing puppy, the bones are going to grow way too fast. The ligaments aren't going to be able to keep up. And in the end, the dog's going to have loose movement for its entire life with joint issues. So you really want to slow your puppy's growth. And the way we do that in our home is, one, we never feed puppy food. That is because we feed high quality adult food, which is good for all stages of their lives. Puppy food was designed for dogs that have a very high active lifestyle. Think of your farm dogs that have lots of area to roam and burn off those calories. Now think of your pug. They're not going to run as much as farm animals that have lots of area to run in. So they're not going to utilize all those calories. And those calories, too many calories, are going to make the dog fat and is going to lead to bone issues later on in life. So for our dogs, we feed them quality dog food 4 times a day while they're young. And then at 4 months old, we switch over to 2 times a day, and we keep that up for the rest of their lives. And the other thing is, our puppies, although they're cute and we love them to be like that, for their health, for their hips, for their knees, for all the joints in between, we keep them in between the just right and the too thin. So they're always fluctuating between these two, but we want to be somewhere in the middle. We don't want them too thin. We don't want them to go over the just right. Good healthy hips, good patellas, good health joints all around as they've grown slowly. I'm going to put a link to studies that show how keeping your puppies thinner early on can actually help with their overall health and well-being as adults. So look for that link below. We really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up. That lets us know we did a good job, and it also lets YouTube know that we did a good job. The other thing to do, if you haven't already done so, is to hit that subscribe button. That subscribe button will help you to see future episodes of Pugs 101 informational series, as well as videos that show you all the cute little antics of Lowly's pug puppies like King and his siblings. So by hitting that subscribe button, you will never have to miss an episode. So that's it. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.